Hey, thanks for joining us this evening. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standards. We've got a good dose of snow headed our way later tonight. Right now it's just rain, but we're watching those northwest winds start to eat into parts of Indiana, dropping our temperatures. And I think after midnight, many of us will start to make that transition over from rain to snow. It's a pretty steady rain too, and also pretty heavy. There in southern Indiana, we've got some good rainfall rates. We've got some severe storms pushing across parts of Arkansas and headed over the Mississippi River. The reason why we're talking about these is there's a lot of moisture here. And what we're going to notice, especially here on the backside, you see some of this rain here kind of on the western side. You're kind of just south of St. Louis, and this whole plume, the western side right here. We're going to be watching some of this eventually moving into Indiana, switching over to a good burst of snow. That's good rain. You switch that over to snow with some colder temperatures, that'll be a good burst for us. And we've got more snow showers off towards the west as well as this whole system kind of pushes on through. Overnight tonight, it's going to turn snow, and I think many of us will be waking up to, on your Sunday morning, to scattered snow and possibly a little accumulation on the ground. So we wanted to let you know the latest on the timing of when we think we'll switch over from rain to snow, and possibly, how much is going to stick? That's the big question. We've got a couple nuances to talk about when we get to that snowfall forecast. For example, how the roads are going to be pre-treating, how much rain falls first, how quickly temperatures can drop. A lot of different factors are coming in. If it was just up to the clouds, they would try to actually put down, I think, 6 inches or so of snow. But that doesn't mean 6 inches of snow will accumulate. I think half of that will at least melt, but some of us will be left over with 1 to 3 inches. So we want to spend some time. We're going to take the next 10 to 15 minutes and talk about what we're seeing on the radar tonight. A couple different forecast pieces of data that we can't quite get into during the newscast because we're really short on time, right? So we wanted to kind of go behind the scenes and explain this next system. This is not a snowstorm. This is not a huge winter storm for us. If you want to call it a winter storm, call it a weak winter storm. But it will be impactful because I think it's going to cause a lot of slick and snowy roads as we're trying to head to breakfast with the family for your Sunday morning. A lot of worship services will be kind of impacted. It's going to be slow going to some of these tomorrow morning, especially for some of the early services when the heaviest snow will be taking place. I think we'll start dying off a little bit for more of the later services, but the snow will still be out there. Right now it's just rain. Temperatures are above freezing. But if you notice some of these bands coming in from Illinois, they're starting to mix in with a little bit of sleet and snow. So we got a ways to go. You can even see, tried to mix in with some sleet there towards parts of Marion a little bit earlier, but just rain for now. But I tell you what, it is really foggy outside. The clouds are low, but as winds pick up, that'll go away, and eventually those northwest winds will cool us off. But some really steady rain to the south. We've got flood watches in effect. I mean, this is some really good rainfall for us. I won't be surprised if we get rainfall totals over an inch just in the next 5 or 6 hours for places like Bloomington, Columbus, and then farther south to Seymour and all the way south to the Ohio River, there where Jefferson and Clarksville meet Louisville. Right now, we've got a lot of the light rain, misty rain. It is dreary out there. It is not fun driving in this. And then you also see the purple color. That shows you the winter weather advisories that are in place tonight. They all kind of start at different times. I'll show you a map here in a moment. But generally, it is just rain right now. I want to show you what it looks like in downtown Indianapolis. You can't even tell we have skyscrapers out there. This camera is exactly 1 mile away from Monument Circle. So we have visibility less than a mile as you're looking towards. You can't even see Salesforce right now. I think this is Salesforce, but you only see a few floors up. You can see War Memorial, but you can't really see Monument Circle. Is very hard to see. So this is what it looks like across much of central Indiana right now. We're still holding at 40, so we're not there yet. But as east winds turn into more northwest winds and we start dropping our temperatures, we'll start seeing that transition over to some snow. We've got a lot of low visibility across central Indiana, down to nothing. It's hard to see there in Kokomo, down to 1 in Wayne County, down to 2 for the Golden Bears and 2 at the campus of IU, down to 1 there at Ball State. But when you look to the north and west, skies are clearing out. The reason why, northwest winds are coming in. They're a drying wind. There'll also be a snowy wind eventually, but they're going to push this out. But I think for the next few hours, guys, it is soppy out there. It's gross, it's wet, and it's very hard to see. You can even see some of the winds here on the temperature map starting to come more out of the north there for Carmel all the way to Kokomo, Tipton in Peru, Lafayette. We've got that north wind just about to come into Greencastle and Terre Haute shortly. In the meantime, the winds are kind of stagnant. They're not really doing much, and that's allowing this thick fog to develop this evening. But you look at temperatures, we are well above freezing. We're safe, but we're starting to get a little bit more towards the danger zone there at Purdue, and even more when you head to the north and west. All right, as promised, I want to show you the purple colors to show you the counties that have been included under winter weather advisories. These are the locations where we think there could be a little bit more snow. Notice how Indianapolis, Marion County is not included for now. But don't be surprised if once we see that snow band and once we can see the exact transition we make changing from rain to snow, that we could get a couple extra counties included. But for now, National Weather Service is kind of keeping it north of Indy. So that does include Boone County to Hamilton County. And then once you get into Madison County, Henry County, and then eastern Indiana, all lined up. All counties for eastern Indiana are under that winter weather advisory. That does include Wayne, all the way south to Batesville and Oldenburg, but Brookville Lake's included. And then you get north of Indy, Kokomo, Tipton, all the way to South Bend and Fort Wayne were included that winter weather advisory. Now I put tonight through Sunday because they start at different times. Some of them start at midnight, some don't start till 4 a.m. So they're all kind of over the place. But generally tonight you need to know that we've got winter weather advisories as snow starts to pick up. We think the best snow will be to the north and east. There could still be some heavy snow south of Indy, but south of Indy, we've got more rain, and that is really messing with our forecast. So let's talk about that just a little bit. As the rain's coming down, it soaks everything, right? Snow loves to stick to dry, cold surfaces. Wet, cold surfaces, it takes a little bit. You got to kind of freeze a lot of that water first, because then most times the snowflake can then stick. But if you're just sticking it to water, most of those snowflakes will melt. The more rain you get now, the less the snow can accumulate. I think even parts of southern Indiana, the clouds are trying to throw 4, 5, 6 inches, but just not all of them are going to accumulate. So that gets a little bit tough when we're trying to figure out. But once the snow switches over for you, you can start to get that base eventually. And once you have that base, then we can figure out even more precisely how much snowfall you're going to get. But let's talk about a little bit on the timing. Now until 2 a.m., most of us across central Indiana, just plain rain. If you go to northwest Indiana towards the region and up north towards Michiana, they'll have a faster changeover. They're already colder right now. But I think for most of us, it's after 2 o'clock in the morning. We get a snow burst across central Indiana from 2 to 9 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock. It's a good window there. But remember, the first couple hours will be hard to stick. I think the latter half of it, that's when we start racking up some of the snowfall totals. After 9 or 10 o'clock, it's just snow showers for the rest of the day. They could be heavy at times, but it's just going to be more scattered showers, really connected with Lake Michigan. So the farther north and really east you go, we'll have a little bit more of those snow chances. So roads are going to become slick and snowy, we think, especially if they can dry off a little bit faster, with the water that's going to be coming down the next couple of hours. It's going to be very windy. That does help to dry the roads a little bit faster too. One thing that we haven't really talked about, though, will be the strong winds we have during this storm and throughout the day on Sunday. I'll show you a map here in a moment, but we're expecting some wind gusts up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. It is going to be super windy out there, let alone the wind chills are going to be down to the teens. It's going to be very cold tomorrow. But the snow is going to be blowing around, and we could have some low visibility problems, especially if you get a snow shower to come over you in the afternoon and the winds, 30, 35 miles per hour or so. That's just going to be blowing it around. Here's the other thing. Road crew goes out, clears a road. If you're out in the country especially, that county road's going to become snow covered again because you've got these open fields. They'll be able to blow the snow right back over. Now, it's generally 1 to 3 inches, but still, you can easily blow that around. Measuring might be a little bit tough, though, because you're probably going to have some bare spots here and there. And then some spots, you could have 4 or 5 inches there and a little bit of drift. So a lot of drifting is going to go on tomorrow. That makes, what you wake up to or what you see a little bit tricky, compared to what's actually falling out of the clouds. But it's going to be a rough start, we think, for your Sunday morning. And that's why we have this weather impact alert. If we kind of had a scale on, the worst impact alerts to kind of the weaker ones, this would be a weaker one, but it's still going to be impactful. And that's why we've kind of told our crews, told our news department, we are ready to go when we're tracking this. We're going to have a lot of crews out tomorrow morning and just monitoring things out there for you. But I do think you need to give yourself extra time to travel for your Sunday morning. If you're headed to a worship service, you're trying to get it right before worship starts. And you may want to try to actually get there early this time because you're going to want the extra travel time as you're headed there. You might also need a light shoveling in the morning. Snowblower, might be overdoing it for some, but hey, if you want the snowblower out, that's your thing. But this is more of a shoveling, not a huge snowblower event, but I do think we'll get a couple inches on the way. Before I show you that snowfall map and we show you Futurecast, I do want to touch on the arrival time of when rain switches over to snow. Because the longer window you can have of snow, of course, just the more snow that you can pick up. But it's going to happen at different times. Northwest Indiana, some of them could already get snow showers now if there was precipitation, but generally from midnight to 2 is when we'll make that full transition over to snow, and there's just snow from there on out. 2 o'clock in the morning to 4 a.m., kind of in this medium purple color. That includes Fort Wayne all the way south and west to Evansville. That does include the majority of central Indiana. After about 4 o'clock, I think we start to make that transition there past Newcastle and headed into Centerville, Hagerstown, Richmond, even up to Winchester, south all the way through Liberty and Brookville Lake. And then even once you get to the Louisville suburbs too, we'll have that window. So 4 to 6 o'clock. So if you're waking up early, don't be surprised at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up in Richmond and you don't see much yet. Give yourself just a little extra time. We're making that transition slowly over time. All right, so in the meantime, guys, this is some really steady rain for us. Don't be surprised if you get an inch of water overnight tonight. But generally, you do start to see the rain switch over to some mix and then quickly over to snow. It should be a fast transition. The good news is that we're not getting a lot of ice here, but we do think there could be some brief sleet, and then you switch over to snow, and then this is some good heavy snow there for a little bit. Give yourself at least about an hour before it really starts sticking, but this is some good snow. This is 5 o'clock in the morning on your Sunday. Still rain off towards the east. Indy starts making that transition too, we think. After by 6 o'clock, I think Indy is in the snow. We start pushing that mix line closer to eastern Indiana, but it is pure snow for places like Kokomo, south to Lebanon and Greencastle. Martinsville, we're getting the snow. Avon, Plainfield, Brownsburg, some good snow for us too. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning, just near some sunrise services. This is some good snow, and it extends all the way to the Ohio state line. However, we do start to break it up on the west side. That northwest wind's going to be strong. Keeps us cold, but it also eventually erodes the snow too. And that's why the snow doesn't last forever. It will start to erode it just a little bit there on the back side. But here's 8 o'clock. We advance it forward to about 10, 11 o'clock. Most of the heavy snow is done, but we're not done with snow completely. We're going to get these scattered snow showers throughout the day. Lake Michigan has had some, warmish days over the past 2 weeks to break up some more of the ice. And so waters are open, and this is really cold air. So I do think we're going to get some of these snow showers throughout the day, especially east of Indy and also north of Indy, kind of in the traditional extended lake effect bands, if you want to call them, in the lake effect zones. So that does include Richmond to Muncie all the way up to Fort Wayne, but Marion's included, Jay County are included, Newcastle for Henry County, and then all the way south to Liberty and even Brookville. Here's 6 o'clock. We start to really end the chances in Indy. I think the winds start to shift a little bit more west to east, and so that should kind of swing the band off a little bit too. But for some of us in Richmond, we may have snow showers all the way to sundown. So that could add up a little bit of extra accumulation there towards the end of the system. All right, this is the map that everyone just wants to see. How much snow is going to fall? What am I going to wake up to? This is not all what you're going to wake up to, because remember, you may still have some snow after you wake up, and there may still be snow showers throughout the day. You could get some additional accumulation. This all counts for it. But remember, the clouds are trying to throw 6 inches at us. Our job has been trying to figure out, okay, how much of that actually sticks? We think there's a good chance between 1 to 2 inches here in kind of the royal blue color. That does include Marion County, includes Indy, includes Hendricks County, includes there towards Morgan County, Franklin County, Sedative House to Johnson County, Shelby County, even kind of Hancock County there at the edge. Rush County are included, Decatur County, and all the way south to Columbus and kind of towards Nashville. 1 to 2 inches, but don't be surprised if you get a little bit more, especially if the snow can stick faster where you live, or you transition over to snow just a little bit faster. That's why we're in that 1 to 2. Farther to the south, we've just got a lot of heavy rain. I think there's going to be some good bursts of snow, but we may only get up to an inch. That doesn't mean you get an inch, but maybe up to is kind of your max. We think that's for IU, south to Bedford, all the way to Evansville. Just there's a lot of water to freeze before you can switch over to snow. So we're kind of at a disadvantage to the south. Plus, we don't have that chance for lake effect snow showers. We're just too far south. We're not really well connected with the lake compared to the darker blue color. 2 to 3 inches. Don't be surprised if we get a couple, just a little bit more. But I think 2 inches is probably a good baseline. But here's the thing. If you just get so much water overnight tonight and the snow really has a hard time sticking, you can see maybe a little bit less than this, but we think this is a good middle-of-the-road approach. 2 to 3 inches. That includes right there kind of the cutoff in Wayne County from Richmond to Hagerstown, Newcastle to Muncie. They're in Carmel and Zionsville, Westfield to Cicero, LaPel, Noblesville, all the way north to Marion and Gas City, Kokomo, Peru, some of these places that we've had school delays throughout the week because of some of the icy roads. I think we're going to get maybe a good 2 to 3 inches. This includes the good bursts in the morning, and then we get connected with Lake Michigan. There may still be some light accumulation there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if some of us, even just north of Jay County, get 4 or 5 inches in a couple spots. We'll have to see. But this is a general guess. Tomorrow morning when you're waking up with Lindsay, she's going to have an update to the snowfall forecast. She'll kind of tweak the numbers just a little bit because she will actively be watching the transition from rain over to snow, and you can start seeing some of these cameras about how quickly is that snow base forming. Once the snow base forms, then you can put a couple inches on top. But once again, you're thinking, Matt, 1 to 2 inches? Why are we talking about this? Good question. This is not a big snowstorm for us, but we do think it's impactful. Here's why. There's no opportunity for pretreatment on the roads. I mean, I was just looking at a lot of the plow trucks because you can find it on INDOT's website. They start popping up once the engine's been on at least 5 minutes. We don't have them activated yet. There's nothing for them to do because of the rain right now. If they started putting pretreatment down, it would just completely wash it away and get into the grass and into our fields. So there's really no point right now, which is tough, right? But they can pretreat in northern Indiana, so most of them are activated to the north because it's already colder there, not going to get as much rain. When we make the transition from rain to snow, it's almost instantaneously. I mean, there'll still be precipitation coming down, so everything's wet. So there's really no opportunity for pretreatment on this one. So the roads are kind of just at the mercy of Mother Nature, and that automatically makes a 1 to 2 incher a lot more impactful for us. They're going to do whatever they can, but just realize that even if they start throwing pretreatment down, if they decide, no, we're just going to go ahead and do it, it may not be as effective. We'll be watching, they're going to be hard at work, and then once the snow is falling, they can get to work on trying to make sure things are cleared, but just remember, there's not a good base layer of any kind of brine or salt, so it might be tricky. You know, a lot of sidewalks right now in downtown Indianapolis have a ton of salt on them right now, but a lot of that may kind of wash away as the heavy rain starts moving in. So a 1 to 2 or 3 incher is a little bit more impactful than it normally might be. Plus, the wind is out there. My goodness, the snow's going to be kind of blowing around. The visibility is going to drop here a little bit. Check this out, 6:30 in the morning. We're going to have gusts over 30 miles per hour for many of us. I wouldn't be surprised if we're approaching 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It is going to be really windy. That causes blowing and drifting, and it also just causes really nasty wind chills. Guys, you're going to have to bundle up as you're headed into your worship services. You've got breakfast with the family planned. Maybe you got some errands you want to run throughout your Sunday. Just realize it is going to be darn windy out there all across central Indiana, and we think that northwest wind really connected with Lake Michigan will throw out some extra snow showers throughout the day on your Sunday. After midnight Sunday night and into Monday, the wind should die down, but it's going to be cold out there. If there's any snow just lingering, we don't think a lot's going to melt, depending on how much crews can try to melt it with some of their solutions. Otherwise, and traffic on the road too also kind of helps melt the snow, but otherwise, whatever's there is just going to stick and could cause some problems for your Monday morning as well. We'll have a better idea on how Monday morning's impacts will be once we can get through this system on Sunday. We have that weather impact alert. The bigger burst of snow is before 9 o'clock, even let's say 10 o'clock. Before 10 o'clock in the morning, that's your burst. And then after that, it's snow showers throughout the day. We went ahead and put the wind on there just because it's going to be breezy. Even if you're not getting many snow showers throughout the rest of the day, it's going to be windy all over. Then for Monday, there may still be a stray flurry, but look at all this cold air. This is on the leading edge of a really good outbreak of some frigid air. Now, we are not quite in the bullseye of the coldest air with this system like we were a few weeks ago. I really think the coldest air is going to be out in the plains. We're talking Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, parts of the Ozarks there in Missouri. But we're going to be cold too. In fact, we're so cold, the jet stream is going to be far to the south. We've got another snowstorm developing in the Central Plains on Tuesday night and into Wednesday. We may be too far north to really get impacted by this one. This may be Kentucky and Missouri storm, over a half foot a lot in some places. I think we can get some snow showers here in Indy, but a little too early on accumulation right now, but we do think there could be some light accumulation. But the farther south you go, Bloomington, Bedford, Seymour, a little bit more good snow for us. Still cold for the rest of the week. I do think by next weekend the weather's going to be so much better. We'll finally get above freezing and we'll have more sunshine, I think, for Saturday and for Sunday. But for now, we've got the rain. It's pretty heavy coming in. Good steady rainfall, some good sleeping weather, but don't be surprised if you start waking up to some snow out there as we switch this rain over to snow with some of the cold air that is marching south. Remember, biggest burst will be there through sunrise all the way up to about 9 or 10 o'clock. After that, it's just kind of scattered snow showers. Most of the damage will be done by then. So we'll be waking up to a little bit more white tomorrow morning, but please check in with Lindsay Monroe tomorrow morning. She's going to be showing you the radar. She'll kind of be showing you, where it's sticking, where it's not sticking so well, all that good information, and then we can nowcast. Right now we're forecasting. Later tonight and tomorrow we'll nowcast. That's where we're going minute by minute with some of the data coming in. We let you know how it's going. And of course, you can look out the window, see how it's doing in your neighborhood. Let us know what you're getting throughout the morning. You can tweet us. You can send it on the 13 News app. Send us your photos. We'd love to see them. good little burst of snow on the way. We'll have to see how much we get, but we do think 1, 2, 3 inches will be a good range across much of central Indiana. Some of us a little bit less, some of us a little bit more. But I tell you what, all of us are about to get the cold, windy weather on the backside of the system, wind chills in the teens all day long tomorrow. So bundle up and maybe have a little bit of a snow shovel and sled ready to go throughout your Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We wanted to give you a little bit more of an extended forecast here online. We'll see what happens, but we've got our next system on the way. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standridge. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.